Coming up next, the long road to recovery from Hurricane Melissa.
The impacts on Jamaica were incredibly severe.
Plus, Pennsylvania food banks are under pressure with a new challenge starting tomorrow.
We're in a hunger crisis already, and this is just exacerbating what we're already seeing.
And Central PA gets into the spirit of the season for Halloween. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Nico Rodriguez.
And I'm Maya Beeling. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. Our top story, a SNAP shutdown is about to impact millions of people in need across Pennsylvania. Reporter Emma Goldkoff has the latest.
Within hours, it'll become more difficult for millions of Pennsylvania families to put food on their tables.
We're in a hunger crisis already, and this is just exacerbating what we're already seeing.
From the state budget impasse to changes in the Local Food Purchasing Act earlier this year, and now the month-long federal government shutdown.
We're kind of creating this perfect storm with all of these things and the changes that have happened so quickly over a few months' time here. And at the same time, a 44% increase in need in our service territory over the last 2 years.
SNAP, or the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, provides low-income families monthly benefits to help them afford food. Because of the federal shutdown, the U.S. Department of Agriculture plans to pause funding for SNAP starting tomorrow, displaying this message blaming Senate Democrats for the lack of funds. 2 million Pennsylvanians receive monthly SNAP benefits.
Food banks like this one in State College are already servicing 9,000 lower-income Center County residents. Now there's no telling what that number will increase to in the coming weeks.
It's going to look really hard, and it's going to look really busy, and we haven't gotten there yet, but at some point we're going to hit a capacity level of how many people we can actually serve.
You know, $140 for a family to get SNAP benefits doesn't sound like a lot, but for families who aren't making very much, that's everything to them.
Central PA Food Bank emphasizes that SNAP is not ending, and it's actively working on a response to make sure there's food on its shelves. In State College, I'm Emma Goldkoff for the Center County Report.
Governor Josh Shapiro has joined 24 other Democratic state leaders in suing the USDA over the suspension of SNAP.
New numbers just released show mixed news about Penn State's enrollment. A record high 42,000 plus students are at University Park this fall, but enrollment across the entire university is down 1.6%, or about 1,400 students, and Commonwealth campus students are down almost 6%. This week, Penn State's president and provost met with the Center County Report and other student media organizations for an exclusive interview. Reporter Morgan Supes is in our studio with that story. Morgan?
Nico, I sat down with President Neely Bendapudi and the provost yesterday to talk about the state of Penn State. Topics ranged from budget cuts to James Franklin's firing.
It's a difficult thing for all of us when we part with a coach. I have full confidence in our athletic director and our team to get a great coach for us.
These last few months have been some of the most turbulent in President Bendapudi's 3.5-year tenure here at Penn State. This year, Penn State's Board of Trustees approved a plan to close 7 Commonwealth campuses. When asked, Bendapudi cited lower population numbers in PA.
So it's really a perfect storm for us. We need to do everything we're doing is to make sure we're strong for decades to come. We are very committed to the Commonwealth, and we are working closely with the communities.
A few months after the decision to close the Commonwealth campuses, President Bendapudi accepted a salary increase, making her the second highest paid president at a public university in the United States, a decision she says she played no role in.
The decisions on how to hire, fire, and retain a president, compensation are made by the board. I personally am deeply humbled and very gratified and grateful for this vote of confidence and the trust.
Bendapudi says she's been focused on Penn State's financial health, and one of her top priorities is trying to convince the state to make funding more fair.
You will see the numbers, that if a student comes to us, we get half as much support from the state as a student when they go to Pitt or to Temple or Pashi. That's one challenge.
She says even with the university's struggles, they are committed to keeping tuition as low as they can.
Across our Commonwealth campuses, our in-state students will see no increase at all. And across University Park, we've kept it sub-inflation.
One thing that could impact federal funding is a compact the Trump administration is asking universities to sign in exchange for certain policy changes. President Bendapudi says if asked, Penn State would not be signing. Back to you.
Thanks, Morgan. Penn State is getting a $50 million gift to name the university's nationally known children's hospital. The money comes from philanthropist and businessman Tom Golisano. The newly named Golisano Children's Hospital at Penn State Hershey Medical Center joins 9 others across the county as part of the Golisano Children's Alliance. A new student housing complex is under construction in State College. The retreat at Westerly will include 142 townhome and garden-style units. The site will also use the empty field behind the plaza on Wapelani Drive. Construction is expected to be finished in 2 years.
Right now, Hurricane Melissa is churning through the Atlantic after causing massive destruction in Jamaica, Cuba, and other islands. Reporter Nolan Collery is here with more on what's left behind. Nolan?
Maya, Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica with 185-mile-an-hour winds. It's one of the strongest Atlantic storms in history. It left behind a path of devastation and destruction throughout the Caribbean.
After Melissa smashed into Jamaica, the aerial views tell the story. Massive destruction and dozens dead.
Melissa was one for the record books. It is preliminarily tied for the strongest hurricane to make landfall in the Atlantic Basin in modern record keeping.
Marissa Ferger is a Penn State meteorology professor and executive producer of Weather World. She says Jamaica's mountains didn't help.
Jamaica has a few mountainous regions, and so that actually makes the effects even worse. The winds are stronger the higher the altitude you go up, and it also makes for more rainfall.
Homes and other buildings are flattened, and widespread power outages continue. Tourists are stranded, and residents are homeless. In some towns, nearly every structure has been damaged or destroyed. The monster storm also impacted Haiti, Cuba, and the Bahamas. The Jamaican government has started the long road to recovery, which will take years.
So we have in fact started to do some work as we have a long journey in terms of the restoration and to look at damage across the entire country.
As damage reports and casualty counts continue to be updated, the people of the Caribbean will begin to rebuild.
Hurricane Melissa sped past Bermuda early this morning, making its closest approach around 2 a.m. Eastern Time. As of this morning, USA Today reports that the death toll in the Caribbean sits at least 50 people. Reporting live from the studio, I'm Nolan Collery. Back to you.
A Center County man is charged with homicide, accused of murdering his wife at their Phillipsburg home. Police say 74-year-old Alan Reed strangled his wife Dawn Reed last weekend during an argument. He's in custody with a preliminary hearing set for next week.
Also next week, Election Day is coming up on Tuesday. Reporter Hope Green says while it's an off-year election, there are still some key races.
Even in this off-year election, in Harrisburg and statewide, millions have been spent on Pennsylvania's Supreme Court race. The court now skews 5-2 Democrat, but 3 of those Democratic justices are up for re-election: Christine Donahue, David Wedge, and Kevin Dockery. The Center County Democratic Committee says we're a swing state, and the High Court can decide everything, from election laws to redistricting and more.
Our justices at the Supreme Court also defends our right for an abortion, for birth control, for all reproductive rights.
The Center County Republicans Committee told us, quote, Pennsylvanians deserve judges who respect the rule of law, uphold constitutional freedoms, and serve the people, not politics. When judges overstep their bounds, the people have the power to say no more. There are local races too, including State College Borough Council and Mayor Ezra Naines running unopposed for his second term.
Well, I love this community, and these roles that of which I'm serving in one are essentially volunteer roles.
Naines moved from New York to State College in 2010.
I felt that it was my duty to step up and to run for this office and to offer my service to the community.
Penn State Votes says every vote counts in every election.
We hope that Penn State students remember that local elections are the starting ground for the future federal elections. Many people who will run for higher office start as a school board member or a city council person, and so every election counts.
I'm Hope Green for the Center County Report.
Polling locations are open on Tuesday from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. To find your location, visit centercountypa.gov.
Still to come on the Center County Report, a new focus on a better rail service in Central PA.
And we check tonight's trick-or-treating weather forecast. Also coming up, it's been a Halloween week tradition for 77 years. We take you there.
The Center Region Council of Government has launched a study aimed at getting Central PA rail transportation on the right track. The survey will look at interest and feasibility of creating a direct rail line to State College. Other possibilities include ride shares to train stations in Lewistown, Huntington, and Tyrone. Some say they don't even consider the train right now because it's not easy.
Me personally, I've never tried to take the train because I just know it's going to be a huge hassle and I don't want to deal with that.
The study will cost around $60,000.
A popular State College bar has plans to expand. Doggies on South Pew Street will grow into the next-door space in the Homerella building at Pew and Calder Way. The project will extend Doggies' current space in the Foster building and include upgrades to the outdoor patio area. Work will start next April.
It's Halloween, and there are lots of spooky, scary, and fun events going on around the area. Reporter Anna LaCastro is live at Harner Farms Pumpkin Patch in State College. Anna?
Thanks, Nico, and happy Halloween! There's lots of fun things to do here at Harner Farm, and I'm actually standing inside the corn maze right now, where for the past 6 nights they have been hosting a haunted flashlight maze. Now, I was not brave enough to come check that out in the dark, for good reason apparently, because it seems like this guy didn't make it out. But I did have a chance to see some pretty awesome Halloween costumes at an annual State College tradition.
The State College community gathered in the streets of downtown this week for the annual Halloween costume parade. From fairy tale characters to real-life icons, creativity was on full display.
Tonight marks the 77th year of this fun tradition. Community members of all ages are welcome to participate, and we're seeing some pretty great costumes already from both kids and adults. It looks like this parade is going to start soon, so we better get going.
The march around town was led by the State High Band, which came dressed to impress.
We have 8 people, so 4 of us are the Beatles early on in their career, and the other 4 are the Beatles late in the career, and I am Ringo later in his career. I made this like last night. It was a lot of fun.
The parade headed down College Avenue before making its way to Memorial Field, where participants had a chance to enter 5 different categories of costume competitions. This night of fun is organized by Center Region Parks and Rec.
And the ideas they have and how they incorporate their entire families, from the adults all the way down to the kids. I just think it's magical, and I love seeing the community come out for something that's really very simple. It is such a great long-standing tradition that we have people who used to come as a kid now bringing their kids.
The celebration wrapped up with a performance from the band and some candy for the road.
Well, the parade may be over, but those costumes can't go back in the closet just yet. Trick or Treat in Center County is tonight from 6 to 8. Let's check in with Daniel Weaver for the Halloween forecast.
Thanks, Anna. And looked pretty breezy out there, and that's pretty much going to be the story for the rest of today. Right now, though, it's looking a lot better than it was this morning. It was pretty gloomy on my way over this morning, but most of those clouds have cleared up. Right now, we're sitting at a temperature of 50 degrees, so it's also warmed up a little bit. But look at that, feels like it's also 50 degrees as well, even despite that 25-mile-an-hour wind. So again, the wind's really going to be the story of the day. Here's the satellite radar. Most of the clouds have moved out of the region. We just have a few spotty showers off to the north, and that is associated with this storm system that brought us all the rain yesterday, moving out of the region. Melissa's even off the map, so she's not really going to be much of an issue for us here. What is going to be the issue, though, is going to be these gusty winds. We're expecting 40 to 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts anywhere in this tan shading, which is where we have that wind advisory in effect through the rest of today. And you can see that here with the winds 25 miles an hour in State College, 18 in Erie, and Philadelphia also at 24 miles an hour. So pretty breezy out there today, and that's having an impact on the temperatures. Here at 15 State College, 49 in Erie, 47 in Steel City. But if you take a look at those wind chills, though, 41 is what it feels like in Pittsburgh, 42 in Erie. Still feels like 50, though, in State College, but I'm not sure if that's really an accurate reading out there. As we time things out throughout the rest of today, though, we'll see a few clouds moving in, but again, it should be a pretty dry day for the rest of today, so no issues with the trick-or-treat forecast for today. Speaking of which, today we're expecting the high of 50 degrees with cloudy skies. Still have to worry about those winds though. And then for that Halloween forecast, it's going to be pretty spooky out there, but the winds are going to be pretty much the main story. So if you are headed out tonight, don't forget, just maybe try to bundle up if you can. I know it might be a little tricky. 46 cloudy and windy will be the theme of the game today with tonight with the where I should go outside trick-or-treating. And as we go throughout the day tomorrow, though, we'll warm the temperature up a little bit with a high of 53 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. And then don't forget to push those clocks back on Saturday night too, thanks to daylight saving time. But at least we get an extra hour of sleep on Saturday, so we'll definitely take that. But then we'll lose that hour come springtime. And that 7-day forecast, though, we'll see temperatures still mainly in the 50s. But really the big issue, I think, for tonight, though, is going to be that wind. So I know you two are headed out tonight. Just don't forget, it's going to be pretty windy tonight.
It's definitely feeling like fall, a little bit chilly, so I'll have to bundle up for some trick-or-treating tonight.
Yeah, hopefully the weather holds off for all those trick-or-treaters tonight. Now over to Kaylee Tallman with sports.
Coming up in sports, Penn State football is still searching for its first conference win, although that will be hard to come by this weekend as they head to Columbus to take on Ohio State. And men's basketball kicks off its season against Fairfield next week. Head coach Mike Rhodes says it's go time on Monday night. Sports is next. I'm Kaylee Tallman with sports. Penn State football has started the season 3-4, having yet to win a conference game. Tomorrow, the team is in for its biggest challenge yet.
It's Ohio State week, and the road gets tougher as Penn State heads to Columbus to face the #1 ranked Buckeyes. But Coach Terry Smith says the challenge is also an opportunity.
This is why you come to Penn State for this big stage, to play in games like this and be able to compete against the #1 team in the country and have an opportunity to beat those guys.
Penn State hasn't had much success against them in the past decade, going 1-9. This year, the Lions are 20.5-point underdogs, according to ESPN Bet.
I don't think we've ever been 20-point underdogs since I've been here, but it's motivation.
Smith says he's confident in the team's strategy. It starts with stopping the run game.
Find ways to stop the run. That's the most critical thing for Saturday, even though their pass game's elite.
That'll be a tall order. Ohio State is averaging over 150 yards on the ground per game, but they're deadly through the air too.
Our job is tough. We got to stop the two best receivers in college football and the hottest quarterback in college football. He's throwing 80% completion.
One of those receivers has 7 touchdowns.
Jeremiah Smith is as good as they come. We were hoping he'd go through this sophomore slump, but obviously he's not.
Defensive tackle Alonzo Ford Jr. says a Penn State upset would be enormous.
It would be huge, especially for us right now, where we're at in the season. It'll just be a great thing for us to do and boost our team morale a little bit more.
For Coach Smith, this game is about belief.
We've got to be able to chop a redwood tree until it's done. And that's a hard task, and it's one chop at a time, and we have to believe in those chops that it'll eventually break through for us, and that's what our belief is for Saturday.
Our broadcast team from Penn State Com Radio is on the road to Columbus today as they get ready to call the game. We checked in with Michael Landis and Amanda Vogt this morning about this big challenge against the Buckeyes.
What's up, guys? We are on Interstate 80 West heading to Columbus right now for Penn State versus #1 ranked Ohio State tomorrow at noon. Penn State has lost 9 out of the last 10 matchups against Ohio State. That one win coming when they were unranked, beating the Buckeyes. Amanda, can they pull it off this time?
Well, it's interim head coach Terry Smith's second game with the team, and UCLA, when they beat Penn State, it was their second game with their interim head coach. So anything can happen, but I think the talent gap between these two teams is a little bit too wide, and the Buckeyes have the edge.
We'll have to see. Back to you, Kaylee.
Kickoff for tomorrow's game is at noon, and you can listen live on Penn State Com Radio with our broadcast team in Columbus. Now let's head over to high school football. The Forest Hills Rangers head to Penn Cambria to take on the Panthers. These two teams met in Week 3, where Forest Hills won 22-18. The Rangers are 16th in the state, while the Panthers are 11th. The winner will face the winner of Huntington versus Tyrone next week. The Tyrone Golden Eagles traveled to Huntington to face the Bearcats. In the Week 7 matchup, Tyrone won 42-21, and Tyrone has not lost to Huntington since 2019. The Bearcats come in as the 14th best team in the State A Class 3A. The Bald Eagle Area Eagles head on the road to Johnstown to take on the Bishop McCourt Crushers. The Crushers are the #1 2A team in the state. They are 10-0 and won the Laurel Highlands Athletic Conference Championship. The winner will face either Cambria Heights or Marion. The Northern Cambria Colts take the trip to Juniata Valley to take on the Hornets. Northern Cambria is ranked 13th in the state at the single A level. These two last met in 2017 when the Hornets won 19-14. The winner will play Claysburg, Kimmel, or Glendale next week. Penn State men's hockey is on the road at Ohio State this weekend. Game 2 of the series is tonight. Last night, the Nittany Lions came back in the third period, scoring 2 goals in 2 minutes. The final score was 3-2 Penn State, and they are currently ranked 4th in the country. The unbeaten women's hockey team also hits the road and is at Robert Morris this weekend. Opening night for Penn State men's basketball is on Monday against Fairfield at the Bryce Jordan Center. Mike Rhodes begins his 3rd season as Penn State's coach with the youngest roster in the Big Ten, including 8 freshmen. They played 2 exhibition games, and Freddie DeLeon led the preseason, averaging 18-plus points per game. Freshman Caden Mingo averaged 12-plus points per game.
It's been a fun summer and a fun preseason with these guys. I really appreciate how they've handled themselves and how they've approached it. Now it's go time. It's real time come Monday night.
Guys, I am headed up to Columbus to see both the men's hockey team and the football team take on Ohio State this weekend. Like Amanda said earlier, I think it's a little far-fetched to say football will take down the #1 team in the country, but you never know. Yeah,
it's going to be really interesting to see if this football team can get it done in this David versus Goliath type matchup.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a weekend full of rivalries. Thanks, Kaylee. Coming up next, local families had a chance to go trick-or-treating in a unique setting this week. That's after the break.
Beaver Stadium turned into Halloween destination this week. Reporter Andrew Matz explains.
The line outside Beaver Stadium was long for this year's All Sports Museum Trick or Treat. The tradition drew people like Emily Enders and her family. They love this night of Halloween fun.
We've been going for like the last 5 years, and we were very excited that this year it was inside the stadium.
People showed off their costumes, and kids collected candy from Penn State athletes. They also had the chance to go inside Beaver Stadium and take pictures on the field.
Families love coming out. They love being able to come here. They love hanging with the athletes. Obviously, the candy is a big motivator as well.
It's the 16th annual All Sports Museum Trunk or Treat, but it's the first time that they're doing it inside of Beaver Stadium. As you can see, plenty of people are still out here waiting to get inside of the stadium, and there are some great costumes out here, as you can see.
Museum director Lou Lazaro says the event being in Beaver Stadium has been in the works for years.
Just happened to be the year where everything kind of aligned and everybody was like, yeah, let's go for it.
With the football team heading on the road to Ohio State, other athletes filled Beaver Stadium for the night.
There was way more athletes this year, so that was really cool. And I mean, the photo at the end with the line is always like a bonus for us.
The Nittany Lion even dressed up as Batman, channeling his inner superhero. In University Park, I'm Andrew Matz for the Center County Report.
Alpha Phi Omega also took donations for the Penn State Lions Pantry at the event.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us on Tuesday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a safe and happy Halloween.